Maybe there is a bread bush in that field, I say. Maybe that's why Thresh looks better fed now than when we started the games. Either that or he's got very generous sponsors, says PETA. I wonder what we'd have to do to get Hamish to send us some bread. I raise my eyebrows before I remember he doesn't know about the message Hamish sent us a couple nights ago. 1 kiss equals 1 pot of broth. It's not the sort of thing I can blurt out either. To say my thoughts aloud would be tipping off the audience that the romance has been fabricated to play on their sympathies, and that would result in no food at all. Somehow, believably, I've got to get things back on track, something simple to start with. I reach out and take his hand. Well, he probably used up a lot of resources helping me knock you out, I say mischievously. Yeah, about that, says PETA, entwining his fingers in mine. Don't try something like that again. Or what, I ask. You can't think of anything good. Just give me a minute. What's the problem, I say with a grin. The problem is we're both still alive, which only reinforces the idea in your mind that you did the right thing, says PETA. I did do the right thing, I say. No, just don't, Katniss. His grip tightens, hurting my hand, and there's a real anger in his voice. Don't die for me. You won't be doing me any favors, all right? I'm startled by his intensity, but recognize an excellent opportunity for getting food, so I try to keep up. Maybe I did it for myself, PETA. Did you ever think of that? Maybe you weren't the only one who worries about what it would be like if I fumble. I'm not as smooth with words as PETA, and while I'm talking, the idea of actually losing PETA hit me again, and I realized how much I don't want him to die. And it's not about the sponsors, and it's not about what will happen back home, and it's not just that I don't want to be alone. It's him. I do not want to lose the boy with the bread. If what, Katniss, he says softly. I wish I could pull the shutters closed, blocking out this moment from the prying eyes of Panem. If it means losing food, whatever I'm feeling, it's no one's business but mine. That's exactly the kind of topic Hamish told me to steer clear of, I say evasively, although Hamish never said anything of the kind. In fact, he's probably cursing me out right now for dropping the ball during such an emotionally charged moment, but PETA somehow catches it. Then I'll just have to fill in the blanks myself, he says, and moves into me. This is the first kiss that we're both fully aware of. Neither of us hobbled by sickness or pain or simply unconscious. Our lips neither burning with fever or icy cold. This is the first kiss where I actually feel stirring inside my chest, warm and curious. This is the first kiss that makes me want another. But I don't get it. Well, I do get a second kiss, but it's just a light one on the tip of my nose because PETA's been distracted. I think your wound is bleeding again. Come on, lie down. It's bedtime anyway, he says. My socks are dry enough to wear now. I make PETA put his jacket on. The damp cold seems to cut right down to my bones, so he must be half frozen. I insist on taking the first watch too, although neither of us think it's likely anyone will come in this weather. But he won't agree unless I'm in the bag too, and I'm shivering so hard that it's pointless to object. In stark contrast to 2 nights ago, when I felt PETA was a million miles away, I'm struck by his immediacy now. As we settle in, he pulls my head down to his arm as a pillow. He pulls my head down to use his arm as a pillow. The other rests protectively over me even when he goes to sleep. No one has held me like this in such a long time. Since my father died, I stopped trusting my mother. No one else's arms have made me feel this safe. With the aid of the glasses, I lie watching the drips of water splatter on the cave floor, rhythmic and lulling. Several times I drift off briefly and then snap awake, guilty and angry with myself. After 3 or 4 hours, I can't help it. I have to rouse PETA because I can't keep my eyes open. He doesn't seem to mind. Tomorrow, when it's dry, I'll find us a place so high in the trees we can both sleep in peace, I promise as I drift off. But tomorrow is no better in terms of weather. The deluge continues as if the game makers are intent on washing us all away. The thunder is so powerful it seems to shake the ground. PETA's considering heading out anyway to scavenge for food, but I tell him in this storm it would be pointless. He won't be able to see 3 feet in front of his face, and he'll only end up getting soaked to the skin for his troubles. He knows I'm right, but the gnawing in our stomachs is becoming painful. The day drags on, turning into evening, and there's no break in the weather. Hamish is our only hope, but nothing is forthcoming, either from lack of money, everything will cost an exorbitant amount, or because he's dissatisfied with our performance. Probably the latter. I'd be the first to admit we're not exactly riveting today. Starving, weak from injuries, trying not to reopen wounds. We're sitting huddled together wrapped in a sleeping bag, yes, but mostly to keep warm. The most exciting thing either of us does is nap.